Welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. And hello again, people. Yes, it's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week, and we're here, back in the studio, ready and raring to get started. We're keen, we're eager, and we're off! So, who remembers what we were talking about yesterday? I know, of course you all do. Yesterday, we had to finish the lesson before we had time to really go over the diet idea, didn't we? All right, so let's get that sorted out. Now, what we need is a remedy. Isn't that right, Chris? That's right. We need a remedy, a cure. We need to remedy the situation that we had yesterday. We need to finish talking about diets. All right. So we know that if we want to tell someone, to inform someone, to let someone know that I, you, or someone else, either a singular subject or a whole bunch of people, are presently not eating as much as usual because they want to lose weight, then the way we do it is to use the verb to be along with the phrase on a diet. Simple. We take a subject, I, you, Cleopatra, Mark Antony, Anthony Bourdain, the cast of Star Wars, whoever. And we correctly conjugate the verb to be for the subject we're using in the sentence. So, if the person who's eating less than normal is me, then I'll say I'm on a diet. If I'm talking about you, then I'll say you're on a diet. If I'm talking about the third person singular, then I'll properly conjugate the verb to be for the third person singular. Cleopatra's on a diet, Mark Antony's on a diet, and Anthony Bourdain is on a diet. And if I'm talking about a plural subject, then obviously I'll use the correct form of the verb to be, are. You and your family are on a diet. We, that is me and my family, are on a diet. The cast of Star Wars are on a diet. All right. Now, we still need to have another quick look at what to do when we want to change this idea into a negative, or if we want to make a question out of it. But you all know what to do, don't you? It's not hard, is it? No. We're dealing with the verb to be, and we all know how to conjugate the verb to be. There are only three forms. Am for the first person singular, are for the second person singular and the plural subjects, and is for the third person singular. So, it's not difficult, is it? No. All right then. What do you think we do if we want to say that someone is eating normally at the moment? That someone is putting the normal number of calories down their throat? Well, this is where we're going to make the sentence negative, isn't it? Yes, and that means what? Well, that means that we have to add that word to the mix. You know, the word we always see when we're making a negative sentence in English. And that word is chimpanzee. Yes, What? What? No. What? Hey, chimpanzee. That's not the word we need. No. Sorry, that was the wrong word. When making negative sentences in English, the word we need is not chimpanzee. Well, unless the sentence is about chimpanzees, but that's not very likely, is it? And anyway, if the sentence is a negative sentence, then we still need the other word, don't we? And try harder now. Which word is that? That's better, yes. The word that we always use when we're making negative sentences in English is the word not. Okay, we all know that. It's not that we need, not chimpanzee. So, where do we put the word not to make a positive sentence negative? Well, that's simple too, isn't it? Let's take a sentence with the first person singular as the subject for our example. I'm on a diet. All right. Now, we started with the subject, I, then followed with the correctly conjugated form of the verb to be, am, and because we all prefer the short, the abbreviated form, we've abbreviated I am to I'm. Fine. And then we follow with the rest of the sentence. And now, if we want to change the meaning of the sentence to mean the opposite of what we first said, then all we have to do is put not after the correctly conjugated form of the verb to be. I am, that is I'm, becomes I am not. I'm not. And then we just add the rest of the sentence like we did in the original sentence. I am on a diet. I'm not. I am not on a diet. Great. Simple. Pimple. Wimple. Aha. Finally, another word which rhymes with simple. Great. Okay, enough about the rhyming wonders of the English language. What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot. Yes, that's right. All right, settle down, settle down. Okay, so we've completed the first one, haven't we? We've changed the positive sentence into a negative one. Good. So we did it with the first person singular. Now, what about the other subjects? Well, let's take them in order. What's next? Good God, no! Not chimpanzee. The next subject is the second person singular, not chimpanzee, honestly. All right, the second person singular, you. So, what's the positive version? Oh, for the love of all things holy, someone get that picture off the screen. Get that monkey off the screen. I don't want to see that ape again today, okay? Take that picture outside and get rid of it. Right. Sorry about that. Now, let's try again, shall we? So, what's the positive version using the second person singular? You are on a diet. Good. That's better. So, how are we going to change this sentence into one which means the opposite? That's right. We're going to add that word. We're going to mix in the word not. And where's it going to go? Yes, right again, trombone girl. It's going to follow the correctly conjugated form of the verb to be. So, hit it. Let me see it. You are not on a diet. Oh, thank God for that. I thought we were going to have a picture of that primate again. Yes, that's better. We can see that we've done the same thing as we did with the sentence using the first person singular subject. All we have to do is add the word not after the verb to be, and then the meaning changes to the opposite. But there's something else too, isn't there? Yes. What do we all remember about most, but not all, subject forms in sentences using the verb to be and the word not? Do you all remember? Yes, that's right. When we make negative sentences using the verb to be, with most of the subject forms, there are two possibilities, aren't there? We can say you're not on a diet, or we can say you aren't on a diet. We can change the direction we abbreviate in. The full, non-abbreviated sentence remains the same. You are not on a diet. But when, as we normally do, we decide to abbreviate things, then we have a choice regarding which direction we want to abbreviate in. You are not on a diet. You're not on a diet. You aren't on a diet. Okay, and on we go, onto the third person singular. And this is just as easy too. All we have to do is remember that now, with he, she and it, the form of the verb is. So, let's see some more sentences. He is on a diet. She is on a diet. It is on a diet. All right, easy peasy, Japanesey, lemon squeezy, breezy cheesy. So those are the positive sentences. You know what you have to do. Make them negative. And all you have to do is put the word not after the correct form of the verb to be. He is not on a diet. He is not on a diet. She is not on a diet. She is not on a diet. It is not on a diet. It It is not on a diet. Great. Simple. And as we can see, once again, here again we have a choice. When we abbreviate, we can either join the correct form of the verb to be to the subject and then add not. And we remember that we have to join with an apostrophe, of course. We're not all as hard as Guns and Roses, are we? No. So we can do it that way, or we can join the form of the verb to be to not. It's up to you. Okay. Now, what about the plural forms? Well, what about them? They're just as easy, aren't they? Yes, we know the correct form of the verb to be, don't we? Yes, are. And we know where we have to put the negative, don't we? Yes, after the form of the verb to be. Okay, let's see them then. We are on a diet. We're not. We are not on a diet. We aren't. We are not on a diet. You are on a diet. You're not. You are not on a diet. You aren't. You are not on a diet. They are on a diet. They're not. They are not on a diet. They aren't. They are not on a diet. Easy, 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 chimpanzee. And just like with the second person singular and the third person singular, we can choose how we want to make the abbreviated sentence. Do we want to abbreviate in this direction or in the other direction? It's our choice. All right, and now a quick question. Which subject form has got only one form in the negative? Yes, that's right. The only time when we don't have a choice when we're making a negative sentence is when the subject of the sentence is the first person singular. I'm not on a diet. That's it. There's only one abbreviated form. We can't say, I amn't on a diet. That's horrible. So, we can choose the way that we make negative sentences using the verb to be when the subject is not, that is, not the first person singular. That's all. And what else is there to consider? Well, what about asking a question? What about asking if someone is putting the normal number of calories into their bodies or not? Well, how are we going to do that? Well, what do you think? What do we do to a positive sentence in order to turn it into a question? Yes, that's right. We have to change the word order, don't we? When we're making a positive sentence, we start with a subject, then follow with a verb, don't we? Yes. And when we want to make a question, we have to reverse those two elements. Instead of starting with the subject and following with the verb, we start with the verb and follow with the subject. Oh, and we have to remember to put a question mark at the end, but you all remembered that, didn't you? So, we change the positions of the subject and the verb. Apart from that, it's all the same, isn't it? Well, almost. There's a question mark at the end, I know. And do you know what else I know? It's the end of the lesson. Yes, I know, time flies and all that. So, just as in other cases, no crying. We still have our eyebrows, and that's very important. Very, very important. And if there is spilt milk, then use a damp cloth. It's the best thing, I promise. And don't worry, we'll start tomorrow's lesson with the questions that we didn't have time to finish today. Okay? All right then, I'm off home and I'm going to have a coffee. As for you lot, well, you're free to do whatever you fancy. Have fun, enjoy yourselves and have fun. I'll see you all tomorrow, but if you can't wait that long, then there's always that website, the one with the 3 Ks, www.mediaclick.hu. That's where the vocab is, and that's where you'll find our older lessons. All right, have fun, and I'll see you all tomorrow. See you later. Bye.